You're on.
Hi, this is Pastor Barbara, and I just thought I'd share a thought with you as we go through this challenging time, and that's that the message of God's promise to be with us is a thread that is throughout Scripture from the Old Testament all the way on through the New Testament, fulfilling that promise in Jesus Christ himself. But I thought we'd focus on a passage from 2 Chronicles, chapter 20, verses 15 to 17. Do not fear or be dismayed at this great multitude, for the battle is not yours but God's. The battle is not for you to fight. Take your position, stand still, and see the victory of the Lord on your behalf, O Judah and Jerusalem. Do not fear or be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, and the Lord will be with you. When King Jehoshaphat is confronted with battle from various enemies who far outnumber his own army, the first thing Jehoshaphat does was to pray to the Lord and proclaim a fast throughout all the land, calling the people to pray and fast. He felt powerless in the face of this overwhelming threat. And we too may find and feel ourselves powerless in the face of the overwhelming threat of the coronavirus pandemic. We do what we're able to prevent as much exposure as possible. We wash and sanitize our hands frequently. We sanitize the things we touch the most around us. We are engaging in social distancing, venturing to the store only when we need to replenish supplies of perishable items. Our children are at home with us, but we know that we're not totally immune from picking up a virus, and so we may feel somewhat powerless. And perhaps, as we heard in 2 Chronicles, this is a time to pray to God, to take the time we may now have to pray for our community, for the world, for all who are suffering from the virus, and for the healthcare professionals who are treating all those who are sick. In the season of Lent, when we hear the call to fast, we find ourselves fasting from attending our children's sports games and competitions, musical recitals, theater productions. We're fasting from attending Cavaliers games, home opener of the Indians, from watching the NCAA March Madness games on TV. We're fasting from eating out and only getting carry in to eat at home when we tire of cooking. We are fasting from making unnecessary purchases to stretch our savings. We're fasting from things we didn't even plan on fasting from. What discoveries and insights will we make, and how does this affect our faith? We also find ourselves standing still in the sense that we're not as out and about as we normally are. We have slowed, and we're staying close to home, avoiding crowds as much as possible. Standing still also means standing firm in our faith and in the Lord. The promise of God to Jehoshaphat is for us as well. Scholar Leslie Allen notes that this account in 2 Chronicles is a classic story of faith, gripping in its portrayal of commitment to God as an ally when life wages war against us and we do not know what to do. It's a beautiful paradigm of taking seriously grounds for fear and yet transcending them by a conviction of the divine presence that could cope with the monster and bring God's people safely through the crisis. As Amy Poling Sutherland adds, faith is overcoming our fear with our conviction that God is present. We place our trust in God and God's promise to be with us. We stand firm in our faith, and the battle isn't just ours to fight, but God's. We do what we can, and the rest is in God's hands, who so loves and cares for us. So during this time, let us hold on to that promise of God to be with us, to not fear or be dismayed, though we may feel powerless, though what we face can be overwhelming. For God is at work on our behalf. May we be in prayer with God each and every day. May we see this as a time to fast from those things which so fill our lives that we don't even think about. And may this time be still in the very presence of God, to lead us to an ever-deepening faith and trust in God. So may peace be with you, and may you remember that God is with us always.